Hi there, it's Barbara Burns. I'm so glad you're here. So today is a time for you to, or right now is a time for you to put this world on hold, to take time for yourself, just you, and to be here. And what we have planned for you is a supply that you are very well aware of, but I'm going to produce some other possibilities for you. And then what we have is a article from Breathe magazine called Try Again. It's about success and failure. Really good article. And we're going to then go ahead into our project, which will be a neurographic art piece. So you go, what is that? Hold on, I'll tell you when we get there. And then after that, we'll have a oracle card reading, just one card, but it'll kind of sum up the wonderful time we've had and then get you on your way to a lovely week. So if that sounds interested, please hang on and we'll have some fun. Here we are for our supply. Now, what is it? Well, it's a container I have. This is the way I store them in my little studio. So open it up and look what we have. Pencil crayons. I told you you knew them well. You actually probably know them from elementary days and whatever. So the ones that you're probably most well aware of, and I'm not sure if this is a Canadian brand or not. This is Laurentien, okay? That is a very popular brand that you can just buy anywhere, you know, at your pharmacy or maybe some craft stores and stuff like that, Michael's and whatever, as well as Crayola. Okay, so those are these are regular pencil crayons that you would use. These are good, but there are ones that are better. The next step up would be these ones. These are Prismacolor Scholar ones. Those are student grade ones, which are good. And I mean, when I mean a student of the arts type of pencil crayon. And these are good. And why they're so good is they actually have more wax in them than these guys do. So when you're blending and doing things that artists do when they're working with good old pencil crayons, it'll do it smoother. It'll just glide. It'll just make the blending so much easier. And that is with these type of ones. So I have kind of a mixture of both, you know, and then there's just the regular Prismacolor that are more the more expensive brand, I would say. And those are usually, I think, about $1, $2 for one, okay? So, but I've got others to share with you. So, these ones piqued my interest because they actually talk about them being ergo soft. So it's coated with lead mine endrite, which I don't know what that is, but oh, maybe that's a translation. That's a translation, silly person. It's just coated lead. This is French, and this is then Spanish. There we go. Because I was wondering, I've never heard of those words before. There you go. These are by Staedtler, okay? And to read on the back, they're colored pencil with an ABSI. The white protective coating reinforces the lead and increases break resistance. So this white, I have to open it up. Brand new, huh? You can kind of see it on here. See, there's a little bit of white that's on it right near the tip here, okay? These are actually created as they're soft. They're very, very, very soft. They're just wonderful. And I really like them. And I was thinking I probably want to use them today for my project. There's also these ones. These are Duert Pro Colors. They're considered strong, smooth, clean colored pencils. Okay, so this, I got a thing of 24. What the back says, this is interesting. Duert Pro Color pencils are a perfect combination of a strong point and a smooth laydown, with a texture that has the covering power of a wax, yet glides like an oil. The richly pigmented pencil maintains a sharp point for detailed drawing, while minimum chipping and dusting keeps your work clean and smudge-free. Suitable for a wide range of drawing techniques, available in a carefully selected range of 72 rich and vibrant colors. And what I also liked here is that they stated that these were actually made from a forest that was sustainable and all that. So I thought that was kind of cool too. So here we go. So here they are. They're a little different in their tip. They almost look kind of very different. I'm not sure what it is that makes them different, but they look very, very different to me. Yeah, the colors. But anyways, we're going to try these out too. So these are new for me. So when I bought them, because again, the sense of having more of a wax, that they'll glide really smooth, and that's the key. So if you're willing to buy and purchase some of these might be a good investment, just as a good quality pencil crayon. Now, if say you don't, you're thinking, I don't have that much money, and I'm not sure how much this is, you can always go for the Prismacolor, Scholar ones, and I got mine from Staples, where I used to tell my students to go, but they also have them at Michael's, and that's pretty well known throughout the world, or throughout the Western world, I should say. So that is that. So there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some techniques here with this. So I'm going to get on the other side of the sheet here. I just practice a little bit. So I'm going to try these ones. Okay, so I'm going to do a gradation. A gradation is light to dark. Okay. So what you do is you press hard, and then you lighten your pressure. Okay, so that's a gradation, going from one color to another. So let's just do this. Well, sometimes with gradations, it's not just one color. You want to combine two colors. So I'm going to take this blue and this blue. Okay? So one color going into another. So you're going to do the gradation like you did before. You press hard, and then you slowly lighten up on your pressure. Okay? Then you take this other color and you press hard, and then you lighten up. Okay, and I'm going to see if it's a little bit kind of white there. I'm going to just go over. And I'm going to go over this again. There you go. So there's your gradation from one color into another. Now you could do a gradation such as even with a blue and a yellow. And what you'll do, if you look at your color wheel, you'll actually create a green then. Okay? So that is that. So that's kind of cool. Now, I'm going to do another technique, and I'm going to actually use these other pencil crayons. So this next technique is called burnishing. So I'm going to take, I like blue. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to press hard, again, do the gradation, and then lighten up my pressure. Okay, so you see how it's kind of stripy? You know, like, not stripy, but you see the texture of the paper. Now, this isn't the best paper for doing drawings. Like, you might want a smoother piece of paper, but this is good so far. But burnishing is taking a lighter color and then coloring on top. I don't know why I couldn't speak there. Anyway, so here we go. So there you go. Isn't that cool? Okay, so this gradation, I had a pink. Oh, here's a softer, here's a lighter pink. So I had this pink, okay? So I'm going to use this pink now. So I'm going to naturally, it's going to change the color of the pink. If you want the color to remain the same, naturally, you're going to use the white, right? So there you go. Isn't that wonderful? I just love pencil crayon. So another option is, besides the burnishing, is say you want to lift a color, okay? And this is kind of cool. Let's use this one. So take that like that. I'm going to press really hard. Okay, and then what you do is you take an eraser and you can actually lift the color up. So you get a soft pink there, but it's not, you know, it's not colored in. So you can lift to get highlights or whatever you want. So this is called lifting, I guess. So there you go. There's some basic techniques that you can use when you're doing pencil crayon work. And we're going to be using these today. So I'm really excited. And we're going to be doing them on the project that's coming up. Yay! But first, we're going to have the reading. So there we go. There's the pencil crayons. Hello. So this is the Breathe magazine. Sometimes Breathe magazine, they have a magazine that is totally focused on one idea. This one idea for this one is building better habits. So what we're going to talk about today, or read, is about the success and failure and how we should look at it and what really works. So I have this piece of artwork that while you're listening, you can gaze at it if you want, or you could gaze at something completely different. It is up to you. So, but I have it, and if you're interested in this type of work, I can, please comment below, and I can create it in another video for you. I'd love to do that for you. So try again. If risk is the down payment for success, then failure is a series of direct debits. The saying goes that in order to succeed, you will most likely fail at various points along the way. No, it's not pleasant, and no, it doesn't turn you into an enlightened being. At times it's grueling, discouraging, and makes you want to give up, which you might, but what it does offer you is a series of valuable lessons. Knowing why you failed allows you to make adjustments to avoid repeating those same mistakes. You'll make different ones instead, but that's just part of the process. Successful people know that they have experienced failure close up. There'll always be someone who walked into their dream job, married their ideal partner, or achieved sporting greatness by sheer luck. But that's not the experience in most success stories. Unfortunately, that's a prevailing fallacy pervading Western culture through reality TV that shows endorsing an "if you dream it, you can be it" mentality. Strength of character. In fact, as many self-help enthusiasts will attest, it's grit and determination in the face of failure that propels you towards success. One such advocate of this message is author and neuro-linguistic programming NLP coach Rebecca Lockwood. As someone who began her own business and helps many female entrepreneurs unlock their potential, she had to take her own advice plenty of times. She says, "I follow a mindset that says if there's no such thing as failure, only feedback, and the law of requisite variety. This is part of what I teach. In the darkest of times, it's gotten me through, along with my vision and inner pull." A flexible toolkit. The law of requisite variety, first formulated by British psychiatrist W. Ross Ashby in the 1950s, is in relation to organisms and systems in general, states that in order to make progress, you must have at least as many solutions at your disposal as there are possible problems in your path. For Rebecca, the law is a reminder of the importance of charging your approach if something isn't working. If the new way doesn't work, change it again, and so on. Becoming fluid in your approach allows for experimentation and helps relieve any sense of frustration. It's important to have a plan, but not get stuck in your own way of creating and actioning it, she says. Without a doubt, it will not pan out the way you first think. It never does. She also cautions against a head-down mentality, as failure needs to be felt and acknowledged in order to move on. A healthy, rather than purely bullish approach will mean that your inner world suffers less in the long run. Accepting failure. Whether you're launching a business, seeking sporting glory, or retraining for your dream job, or pursuing any other venture that carries with it the possibility of failure, there's a question you'll need to ask yourself. How much are you willing to pay to achieve this goal? Being accepting of failure is like having a quiver full of arrows. They're all yours for the using. Each one is a representation of a failure that takes you one step closer to the bullseye. Sometimes that step is a fraction of an inch. Sometimes it's the length of a football field. Even when progress is obvious, those failures can still hurt. But some experts suggest that learning to accept the pain of failure also allows you to accept success, an alien-sounding concept that, when unpacked, makes a lot of sense. Brian E. Robinson, writer, psychotherapist, and professor at the University of North California, says the latest buzz among psychologists is to cultivate a growth mindset. This requires you to believe that failure happens for you and not to you. Your growth mindset makes you as willing to embrace failure when it comes as you are to accept success when it happens, he says. The more you accept failure, the more opportunities you have to accept success and bounce back higher than when you fall. Failure is an opportunity. Failure as merely a spent arrow or a stepping stone, reframing negative thoughts to see setbacks through a new lens. It's nothing less than mental gymnastics. Is there a degree of the fake it till you make it approach involved? Or, to badly paraphrase Rudyard Kipling, can you really treat the twin imposters of triumph and disaster as the same? Zadra Ibenz, director of operations at the Institute of Education Advancement, suggests that you might be able to. When we succeed, she says, the brain releases endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. This makes us keen to win again, repeat the same task for the same reward. On the other hand, failure releases cortisol, leaving us feeling stressed and unsafe. Same difference. The answer to managing these different chemical responses, surprisingly, takes you back to the Kipling quote. Rather than trying to change your brain's response to failure, the key is to retrain your brain's approach to failure and success, closing the gap, treating them the same. It's important to check in with yourself consistently, says Rebecca. When things are hard than they should be, and you're not enjoying yourself anymore, this can be an indication that it could be time to change your approach to something fresh and new. Enjoy the process and be fluid in your approach to success. Without success, failure is a waste of spent emotions, but without failure, success is next to impossible. Treating the two as equal imposters gives your brain a chance to bounce back, or not to become incapacitated by feelings of not good enough. These two, like good and evil, night and day, belong together. So there you go. And they have some questions on the back, and I'll just go over them here. Trying the following to explore finding the comfort in failure. So, in order to relax into acceptance of the failed attempts that are necessarily ahead, it can be useful to use an example of an achievement you're proud of. Look back at what it took to get there and write down, itemize the price you paid to get there. And the next one is, now write down your goals and what you think would be a fair price or a price you're prepared to pay to achieve them. And then quantify it. How much money are you willing to invest? How many attempts are you prepared to make? How many times will you get back up and start again? So there you go. Very interesting article. And what I thought was very interesting was here. Your growth mindset makes you as willing to embrace failure when it comes as you accept success when it happens. Where is that? It was viewing that failure as something that happens for you. It's not something that's bad. It could be something really good that you could go and say, okay, that didn't work. Now I know a way that it doesn't work. Let's go on to the next thing and try it. So that's a really good way of looking at it. It helps me actually. And I'm just starting to use that outlook. So yeah, so there you go. Breathe magazine. Okay, here we go. So blank page in front of us. So this is in my multimedia book, okay? It's very smooth paper, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how the pencil crayons react to this. It might be really nice. I think it might work out pretty good, which I'm pretty excited about. So the supplies you need. Naturally, you need your paper, okay? You need things to make circles with. So you can just find things around the house. If you have a protractor, you can use that. You're going to need a felt marker that works. I have two because I'm not sure which one works. And then the next part is you need your pencil crayons, okay? Pencil crayons there. So we're all set. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a completed one. Actually completed two of them. So here's one. Okay, this is a neurographic piece of artwork. The whole idea with neurographic is it's actually to help you have some peaceful moments when you're creating. This was actually created by a man in Russia, a Russian psychologist or psychiatrist, I believe. His name is Pavel Piskarov, in 2014. And it was a form of mindfulness he was wanting to share with his patients. And neuro means nerve. So we have all these neuron cells that carry messages from our brain to our body. And we have millions of neurons, millions and millions and millions. And they're connected, just like how this drawing is all connected, see? Okay? And graphic means artistic, okay? So it's nerve art as such. So it looks kind of like the nerves, right? But it's a little different in the fact that we're creating a piece of art with this. And the whole idea is for you to think of a problem. Think of something you want to help you with, you know, a discomfort or a concern or a stress that you're going through. And what I've done in the past is I've written them on the back of my page, okay? And what it does is when you're scribbling you scribble on the paper for about 3 seconds. I think it's a little bit more than 3 seconds. And you're doing one continuous lines. No lines end abruptly in the middle of the page. So see how this line goes all the way over here? This line goes all the way over here. Nothing is kind of stopping and kind of halfway. It goes from one end to the other end, okay? And the more lines you can do, the more kind of connections you're going to have. But the whole idea is continue off the page. And the key thing with this is we're going to curve all the corners. So see how all these connections we have here? Well, then we kind of curve the corners to make it a little bit smoother, okay? And basically we're transforming the image, transforming your stress into something good. So that's what we're doing to the work, and that's what we're going to be doing to your problem that you're having. So rounding the corners, okay, can basically, remember the saying, take the edge off, right? And so it's imagine of taking the edge off of your stress or your problem. And we want to make sure that each line that's intersected, okay, has these joins that are really kind of neat. And I'll show you how to do them. And then basically you're going to add color, okay? And with color, you can color how you like. I chose to do a gradation, which I taught you. If you want, you can just do it one color, okay, and this different color. I just chose to do it, and I think I'm going to maybe do about the same as well. I kind of like it. Here's another neurographic art, totally different, where I just basically took the circles and then where they intersected did these neurographic things. So a little different, isn't it? Yeah. So my preference is actually the other one. So, but it's up to you how you want to do it. So here we're starting. Let's get our markers, and remember, a continuous line is going from one end to another end. There we go, and I'm going to do a circle. Big circle. I'm going to do a little circle. Oops, sorry. Bumped you with my head. Oops. Wanting to get that a little thicker. There we go. There's that, and then we got the small one. I'm going to do that right about here. Now, you don't need the circles. If you don't want the circles, you don't need to bring the circles. There we go. Now I could do more, but I like you know, when things are actually in odd numbers. I really like the look. So that is that. So that's the way I'm going to do. So now what I'm going to do with the connections. So here is where things cross. So there's a crossing here, crossing there, crossing here, crossing there, and crossing there. It's okay if things go over top of one another. That's fine. But what I do is I actually round the edges. Remember, we're taking off the edge of that issue, that problem. Oh, I forgot to write my problem on the back. So we're just taking it off. There you go. And so it's not a blob, it's not a circle, because we want a nice continuous line. We want it to be smooth. And it's not a rectangle, because that's not very smooth. That's pretty juddy. That's just more edges, right? We want it smooth. So we want crossing and just do that little curve like that. So it's almost like a diamond shape. And then put that in like that. Now, what happens if there's two that are kind of close to each other, like that? Okay, I'm going to do my, like this, do it like this, do it like that. And then this one, I come like that. And what you can do, see how this is kind of like it's thick here? I can go and smooth it out so it goes into the line like it's nice and smooth. We don't want any harsh lines that are, you know, taking away from the smoothness. We want smooth. See, this is kind of jutted out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join these two together and thicken the line. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this most likely on fast forward. So instead of watching me do this for a long time, it'll be a quicker time. So there we go. Here we go. Just checking to see if it was going through on the other side. I might put a piece of paper underneath it just to be safe. There, I'm done. So I'm making sure everything that's crossed is, oh, I didn't do them here. Yeah, see, it pays to go and look at it again because there we go. So that was done. Yeah, everything is done. Okay, so now we're gonna start coloring. Okay, so perfect. What colors do I want? I really like these pinks. Oh, that's a red. It looked like a really deep, deep pink, and this is a lilac. Pink and a lilac? How will that work together? Oh, that'd be nice together. Yeah, let's do those two. Okay, so they're similar on the color wheel, like the purple, red and purple are kind of side by side. So that would look very nice. So where do I want to start? I'm going to start over here and work this way, because what happens is if you're working over here, right, and then you have to go work over here, you're just going to take and smudge yourself here, right? So we want to make sure that we're not smudging. So again, darken and then lighten. So we're not really seeing the other side of it, but I'm going to bring in the purple over here. There we go. So I'm going to just go light first. A little change in the technique, all the way light. And then I'm going to go darker. I'm going to keep the consistency where I'm going to have the pink on this side of everything. And then the purple on the other side. I think it'll have a greater sense of unity to do it that way. Might look nice. I'm trying to go all the way in one direction. So that's way, if there's any pencil lines, and there are some that are showing up, they're all kind of going the same way. So now I'm going to darken. This would be a perfect little project to do that you could just spend, say you don't have a lot of time to do art. You know, you can do it in sections, right? You can do the connection points, you know, in one sitting. You can do the coloring, you know, you could just say, okay, I've got 15 minutes. I'll just color for 15 minutes, right? You know, and just finish up little sections. So you do three of them. And then you come back and you do 3 more. You know, it's very easy to do this with this type of project where you can combine and, yeah, just really, yeah, just, it'll be great. You know, because a lot of times we don't have, you know, we want to do art, but we, you know, it's like, oh, I don't have the time. I don't have an hour, you know. But, you know, you can break up this one very easily to, you know, to do it. You know, it's no issues with this one. So, yeah, if you want to do a work and you want to do it in sections, maybe start playing with Neurographic Art. That might really be your ticket. So, yeah, I was thinking about that, you know, just as doing it as a section, one part and then another part. Here it is, the last part. You know, the thing is, as I mentioned earlier, it would be a great idea to do this in sections. I mean, oops, look at me. I wasn't even thinking. But, I found that I really wasn't thinking of anything. My brain was very relaxed. And I hope you found yours relaxing as well. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Because, it's so good to rest our brains, to kind of get that space and that time where we're just can rest. Rest is so important. And I think that's why art heals. It's because we give ourselves a rest. We give ourselves some downtime that we can just kind of just be. And we're not necessarily we're doing with the artwork, but we're not manically doing it. We're doing it for the sake of enjoyment. So I hope this helped you resolve your problem that you wrote on the back. It might not resolve itself right like that, but I think you did soften your edges on your concern, and I do believe that you did. Just again, taking the time for yourself was so important. So there we go. There's our neurographic art. Here is the oracle card. So it's the Star Seed Oracle. It's a 53 card deck by Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork's by Danielle Noel. So I kind of like it when they give the artist credit. I'm always woohoo. So here we go. This is for you, or it could be for someone else that's watching. It's for someone else watching, or is it for me, or is it for the group of us as a group message to speak to all of us at this time? It could be. So that's important. It's important, I find, with the oracle cards, that it gives me time to think and ponder. Where am I going? What am I doing? There we go. And reflect on the questions. And it really does help me. So here we go. Here is the one. Lost Lands, Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before. Ooh. Okay. $90. Lost Lands, Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than our own today. As we begin to remember these times, the remembering and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a new creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you've been receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that lost lands exist in the past. Others believe they exist today in a different dimension. I believe these ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands such as Lemura, Atlantis, and Avalon exist within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. The Starseed Activation. Place this card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following: I unlock any forgotten wisdom and soul gifts from lifetimes past. So how I view this is you can really listen to your soul, listen to that gut, that gut feeling, that twinkle that you get, the little spark that you feel when something is suggested or whatever. Listen to yourself and see where it's going. And, sometimes I don't know where it's going, but I trust my little urgings because it just feels right. And I think I have to do that more. And it's so important to listen to yourself because you do have wisdom. You are wise. So there we go. We're done for today. I hope that you listen to your soul all the way through, that you, followed your heart. That's so important. And I hope you followed your heart in the colors you chose and the lines you did. You just kind of let things happen, let it flow. So I think that's the good thing. So with that all said, if you liked what we happened today, please like and subscribe. It'd be really helpful. And I just really wish you the best. And I send love and light to you. Take good care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Have a great day.